Alright, here we are, match 1, and we're on the play, which is exactly where we want to be. Winning the die roll is a pretty big deal. Um, Jesus. Obviously, this is not a great hand. The question is whether or not we can keep it. Let me do some quick math here. 4, 8, 12, 16. Basically like 16 cards that we need to draw. It's a little under a third. That's like... So in one draw, we only have a 25% chance of hitting something big. I'm gonna mull this hand. Like, yeah, you want to be explosive and you want to have lots of mana and stuff, but if you just have nothing to drop, you're pretty screwed. I'm not happy about that. This is better. This is definitely better. We have 2 colored spells, which is kind of a lot, but we have the mana to cast them. I'll keep that Glimmer Void. You always want to play your non-land permanents before... Or sorry, you always want to play your non-creature permanents first, in case they have, like, Gut Shot or something, so that you can guarantee to play all the spells you need to play on turn 1. Like, you don't want your curve to get screwed up just because you didn't play around Gut Shot properly. It's an easy way to lose a game. This is not a horrible start, unless, of course, our opponent had played Thoughtseize there. That would have been pretty bad. So we're looking at most likely Infect, sort of the collected company style Bring to Light decks aren't really a thing right now, so I'm not afraid of that. Let's just F8 here. So yeah, we're in a pretty good spot now. Being on the play was huge against Infect, which is not a great matchup, by the way. They just tend to be a little bit faster than we are, and it's hard for us to interact. But again, this is a sweet draw, having Master of Ethereum. And game 1, okay, so maybe they are playing that Bring to Light deck. And maybe... yeah, maybe that's just the most likely here. We're definitely playing Steel Overseer. And then we can use him to hold up Galv Blast in case they play anything that we actually care about. So they're gonna block the Master. Take 3, go to 12. I'm trying to consider whether it's worth either Galv Blasting their Hierarch or Galv Blasting their face, but I think we can wait on that. And my mouse has just died. Oh, there we go. Alright. I think we can afford to wait. That's what I'm going to do. Next turn, we're just going to all-out Alpha, probably. We're not even going to tap the Overseer. Just going to attack with everything and then blast their face. What's this, Resto? Jeskai Ascendancy. Interesting. Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll play like a Probe or something. Just going to yield to these. I must admit, I haven't actually played against this deck before, ever. But Affinity has pretty reasonable matchups against combo, I would say. Depending on the combo, actually. For example, Ad Nauseam, not great. They're just a little too fast, a little too hard to interact with. Alright, so they got a Fate Stitcher. I think the question here is whether or not we actually care. So we could blow up the Fate Stitcher. Is that worth doing? I don't actually know. Like I said, I haven't played against enough of this deck to know properly. But I'd imagine... I mean, how much mana does he actually need is the real question. He has a ton of cards in hand. This lets him have 3 mana every... excuse me. This lets him have 3 mana every time he casts a spell versus having only 2. And I just don't know how relevant that is. I think I'll let this one resolve. Alright, what's this? 2 mana. Scar Scale Ritual. As an additional cost to cast it, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature you control. Draw 2 cards. Whoops. I definitely screwed that one up. I'm gonna turn off my auto yields. I didn't even think of the fact that I might want to blow up Fate Stitcher before he untapped, but here we are. Oh god, he's gonna get another Fate Stitcher? Ugh. How did that get in there? Again, I'm wondering about just killing his dudes before he has too much mana. You know, I'm just gonna go for it. I have no idea if this is correct or not, but I've never played against this deck. I've seen people play it in Standard and Modern, but I've never played against it personally, so I'm just gonna go with my gut and try to limit his mana and hope that that does something. I'm gonna be pretty disappointed if we lose game 1, but it does seem like he's going off pretty hard here. Glittering Wish, okay. I don't remember what card they dig for, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? Jeskai Ascendancy? Oh, just another Ascendancy in case they try and steal them all from you. Alright. He's going to play his second Ascendancy. Yeah, I don't think we're realistically going to win here. Who knows, maybe if I'd been more careful or something. He probably does have probes, I could have waited. Well, yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say here, to be perfectly honest. But, I guess we can start planning sideboarding. Obviously, the Thought Seizers are coming in, Stubborn Denial. But, I think Chalice of the Void's going to be just too good in this matchup, regardless of whether or not we're on the draw. Like, normally you only want to play that card on the play against certain matchups, but in this case, like, he has enough 1-drops and they're important enough to his deck that just being able to counter them all is good enough. In terms of anything else, Grafdigger's Cage. Grafdigger's Cage will definitely come in. It doesn't do much, but at least it stops his Fate Stitchers from hitting the table. What else do we have in the sideboard? Let me just pull it up on the other monitor here. Dismember. We're going to be playing all of our removal. It's a shame that Painter Servant doesn't do anything here. Spellskite? Does Spellskite help? Yeah, Spellskite's good. Alright, so I don't know what this matchup is like, but I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? So, Spellskite, Cage, Chalice for sure, with Flare for sure. Aether Grid? I'm not entirely sure about Aether Grid. That's like half our sideboard right there. Because, like, Aether Grid's good, but I mean, it kills probably most of his mana dorks. It just seems pretty slow. We'll bring it in anyway. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colored cards, so we're going to have to take out some non-colored stuff. We're on the play, so we don't want to take out too many Memnites. Memnite Pest. Thoughtcast is too slow. So if we did only take out Thoughtcast, that's 5, 9, 10, 11 colored spells, so we definitely have to take out colored stuff. One Steel Overseer because it's too slow. Do we want to take out Gal Blasts or Masters of Ethereum or a little of both? I mean, Whip Flare is kind of just better than Gal Blast, so we can do a 1-for-1 there. Maybe we just take out Gal Blast entirely. That would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is still too many, so we have to take out at least one Master of Ethereum if we want to have all these colored spells. Alright, we are on the draw. We could potentially take out like an island. We're only gonna have... Well, we'll still have 4 blue spells post-board. Or like a Blink Moth, because it's just not... he's too fast. That seems reasonable. Vault Scourges are going to be really good for us, so we can't take out too many of those. Oh, God. I don't really want to take out another Memnite or Signal Pest, to be honest, since we're on the play and all. Maybe just a Ravager. Yeah, let's do that. See what that looks like. Well, this is a bit of a goldfishy matchup, unfortunately for us. Alright, well we have Cage. Cage is good. We're playing turn 1, Darksteel Citadel, Ornithopter, Mox, Opal, Ornithopter. Yeah, this is good. It's definitely good. So let's see here. We can play Cage and Drum, is that correct? Hang on, let's play Drum. We'll have 2 mana here. So we can worry about playing Cage later. We're just going to play our Ornithopter and our Plating. And then next turn we can drop the Cage and start bashing. So that was a really fine start for us. Especially since we have 2 creatures, so even if he just bolts 1, it's not going to be enough. I think if we go to game 3, that's going to be the tough one, honestly. Alright then, Whip Flare will be nice at some point. Let's play Cage. We'll equip 1 Ornithopter and bash. Hopefully next turn he just plays like 2 birds or, 2 more guys that we can Whip Flare away. That would be ideal. Sylvan Caryatid. Glimmer Void. Alright. Unfortunately that is not an artifact. I guess our question just becomes whether or not we want to play this Whip Flare right now. And considering the fact that we're basically not losing right now, it'll take out a significant enough amount of his mana that I'm willing to do it. Like, yeah, it just kills 1 guy, but considering that he's very, very dead, I don't think it's a problem. He might play Pyroclasm here, which would suck. Ascendancy? Yeah, unless he has something else that's not going to do it. Like, his only creature's a defender. Yep, there's the probe that I figured he was running. But again, his only creature is a defender right now, and his Fate Stitchers can't hit the table, though he might not realize that. I don't think he does, otherwise he would have conceded already. Yep, there he goes. So that was a solid start. Being able to get one of our hate cards was pretty important. So in terms of sideboarding, what do we want? I mean, that went spectacularly. We can't bring in any more colored cards. Yeah, I think we're doing fine as it is. It's just, against combo decks, it's weird because you gotta balance being quick and aggressive with having enough hate to make sure that they can't win. Alrighty. Alright, so we have turn 1 drum. This is not great, but I'm going to keep it because we're on the draw. So if we can somehow get a 0 drop down, this is going to, like, if we can just top deck Ornithopter, this is going to change significantly how good this hand is. Because if we can drop Chalice of the Void immediately, that would be fantastic. Alright, so for right now, we'll just play land and drum. And hopefully we can get some way to cast Chalice of the Void. If not, we'll just dismember a guy. Signal Pest. Alright, well, at least it gives us something to do with our mana. So we'll play Signal Pest, and we'll play another Signal Pest. I mean, I could just hold up Dismember if I wanted to play around his, him getting, whatchamacallit? But we do need pressure on him. It's not like we can't, like, A of all, we need pressure, and B of all, I want to get all my 1-drops out of my hand before I cast Chalice of the Void, if possible. Like, he's got a lot of mana there, and that scares me, but again, I don't have a lot of experience against this deck, so maybe I'm making a huge mistake and I'm going to get punished for it, but I think I need that one more turn right now. Like, we didn't draw our second mana source yet. Well, third-ish, second-ish, you know? Okay, so he played that tapped, which is a good sign. It means he's not trying to combo off immediately. At least I don't think he is. Abrupt Decay? That's actually really annoying. Glittering Wish, okay. That's a thing? Now he has the Ascendancy in hand. But obviously he can't cast it right now. I just realized our opponent's name is Total Hate. Okay, so that leaves us with some unfortunate decisions to make, not having drawn a land there. But I think the smartest choice is to just bash for 2, hold up Dismember, and continue to hope. Like, if we can just get that land and play Chalice of the Void, we might be able to win off the back of that alone. Here comes the Ascendancy. And we really, really need that land, like, ASAP. Alright. Oh shit, I fucked that up, didn't I? I should have killed the Birds of Paradise beforehand. Well, I'll kill it now. He can tap it for 1 more mana, but considering that's his only creature that can actually attack right now, this is going to put a little more onus on him to do something. Discards his Fate Stitcher. So yeah, this could be the end. But he also might just fizzle out. We don't know at this point. And it might be too late for Chalice to work its magic anyway. But we're down on mana. We're a little too constrained. If we can get Spell Scout on the board, that would be great. Okay. Oh god, now he gets another Fate Stitcher. This could be the end. Alright folks, this is not the most interesting match. Like, there's just only a certain number of choices I can make in terms of getting rid of his dudes. I mean, it's not over. He only has 5 power, but he's got 4 cards in hand and basically as much mana as he wants. Maybe I kept too sketchy of a hand. Maybe I just needed more mana sources. But I figured the Chalice would be, good enough. If he hadn't killed our Springleaf Drum there, we would have won this fairly handily, I think. Well, that's not true at all, because he would have just Abrupt Decayed the Chalice instead. But, what can you do, right? I'm just going to start... I'm not going to start doing anything, I guess. Just wait it out. This is one of the slower combo decks in terms of actually winning after casting its combo. Come on, guy. I'm just gonna pause this while he goes off. Alright, I'd had enough at this point. Conceded to them. But, sorry, this wasn't the most exciting match. I probably should have mulliganed into a faster hand or something. But even still, we were pretty far away from killing them. And they went off pretty fast, but hopefully we can get you a better match in the next round.